Perfect. So I think we can get started since I can see a lot of people have already joined in. Let me share my presentation real quick with you guys, and we'll shortly get started. Can you see my presentation? Yeah, great. So before we get started, I just want to do a quick introduction of myself. My name is Sara. I am myself have been working in international education for around 5 to 6 years, and I myself studied in Sweden. I'm the global recruitment manager for Atmo International School. I've previously worked with another university, and I've also worked as a consultant myself. I was working as a mentor and helped a lot of students to get accepted to some top universities, scholarships, etc. abroad. Before we get started, actually, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. I can see that we have around 20 people at the meeting right now, and I'm curious where you guys are joining from because I know that we have a lot of people coming from different parts of the world. So if you have a chance, just drop in the chat where you guys are joining from, and that would be very valuable. Yeah, I want to keep this session more interactive, if you don't mind. So if you have any questions, you can ask it during the presentation. Please feel free to, unmute yourself, ask the question. If you feel uncomfortable, then you can always write it in the chat. But for the chat, I might not always monitor it because I'm doing the presentation. Okay, so agenda for today. So today we're gonna cover a few things, but our main focus is going to be talking about how A levels will open the doors for students to study at top universities and how you as agents, as counselors, can help students to achieve those dreams and help them in their journey. So the first thing is we're going to talk about the challenges students and agents face nowadays. Then we're going to talk about what is A-level diploma. I know that most of you know what it is, but I want to make a comparative advantage of A-level compared to foundation programs, compared to local schools, and also compared to other international programs. Then we're going to talk about our learning intelligence platform. This is something very new. I think it would be very useful for you to get acquainted with it. We're going to talk about the predictability in A levels, predicted grades, and how our platform solves the problem of predicted grades in A levels. Then we're going to talk about how our online program can strengthen the student's profile while applying abroad. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the advantages of what's in it for you as agents. And we also have a short testimonial from our students. And just we're going to talk about some student success cases that we already have. So I can see that we have a few. Oh, Paris, Ukraine. Very nice. Burhan from Istanbul. Hello from London. Oh, that is so cool. We have very, very international presence today. Tashkent and Almaty as well. I'm myself in Almaty. So yeah, it's quite rainy right now at the moment. I think we have, yeah. So if you have sun, good for you. Okay, so let's get started. The challenges students and agents face today. So as we know, right now, nowadays, overall, students have very fierce competition getting accepted to top universities abroad. And this specifically gets harder for students coming from countries that are not very recognized around the world. Like the high school diploma is not very recognized around the world because they need to put the extra effort compared to other students who come from, I don't know, UK universities, Canadian high schools, and etc. And so the second problem that we want to address is that most local diplomas, as you guys know, as we know, as everybody in education sphere knows, most local diplomas are not accepted for direct entry for universities abroad, such as if you want to study in the UK, in Europe, or Australia, Canada. It's for CIS, for example, if you have a if you are coming from a country in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, or Ukraine, you study 11 years, you get a high school diploma with 11 years, and those national certificates are usually not accepted for direct entry. So you have to do a foundation degree, or you have to like do some extra, something like a gap year, prepare like at the same time for another programs. I myself, quite honestly, I had this problem. I myself, as I said, studied in Sweden, and they were not accepting my 11-year diploma. So I had to do 1 year here at a local university, and then I went to apply to Sweden. So I think that's a problem that most students face. Not only in CIS region, we have Egypt, for example. In Egypt, they do have their own national curriculum. They set 1 or 2 subjects, like which is similar to A level, but usually universities require 3 subjects. So again, they have this gap. They usually go for a foundation year. Same goes for Saudi Arabia and Gulf countries. Their national curriculum is not sufficient for direct entry as well. And the same again goes for Nigeria, West Africa. They require a foundation year at most, UK universities. So as we can see here, we have this gap between finishing high school and going to a university, and there is this gap for students and agents that needs to be filled. And most parents, most students, most agents, what they do is they usually send for a foundation year, right? This is a mostly common thing, but with foundation, it could be quite tricky as well. So like I know from my experience talking to parents is that they do not like the idea of foundation. For them, it's like an extra cost, an extra like 1 year wasted. And for agents specifically, there's always this kind of like a fear that there's no guarantee progression, right? You have to study in foundation, you have to get a certain grade to go for direct entry. And sometimes students do not pass this grade. Sometimes they don't get like 60% or 70% or whatever the threshold is. They don't pass this, and then it becomes a huge problem. They need to find another university. Sometimes they have to choose a lower quality university, or families get stressed because they have to change because the agents promised, yeah, we're going to go to this university and everything. So it's a very big hustle for agents themselves. It's a big hustle for families. It's a lot of stress for the student. So foundation year could be a little bit of a tricky thing, I think, for students and agents and everybody involved, even for the university itself, because universities also want a good progression rate, but it's not always the case. So we can see this problem, and how we address it, we offer A levels. So as most of you guys know what A level is, I'm not going to go deep into explaining what A levels are, but just a very quick summary. A levels is a two-year British qualification. Students take 3 focused subjects while they study A levels, and A levels is one of the most recognized diplomas in the world. So universities all over the world know what A levels are. They accept it. If you have a sufficient grade, they will accept you for a direct entry almost anywhere in the world. And not only UK, it could be US, Canada, Europe, even like here in Kazakhstan or Turkey or any like Paris, France. Everywhere A levels are accepted. It's one of the most like global standards for education. And one of the things for A levels, one of the benefits of A levels is that it has a very high subject specialization. So compared to even like other high school programs, like local diplomas or IB program, here is a very good benefit that the students only choose 3 subjects. So if they're going for an engineering program, they're not going to study history or they're not going to study literature. They're only going to specialize on the program, on the subjects that they actually need to get into the universities. And that's why universities really value A-level programs, because they know that students coming from A levels, they actually already have the base, they have the foundation, and they are going to be good and qualified for the programs they're doing. Since A levels has been around for more than 50, 60, or 70 years, it kind of shows and proves its quality around the world. And it's accepted, as I said, like it's taught and accepted for around like 160 countries, more than 160 countries. So as you can here see in the table, we have a comparison. So for foundation year, Yeah, direct university entry is not guaranteed for local diploma, as I said, very rarely. IB diplomas, of course, they also accepted for direct university entry, recognized by top university. A levels are very globally. IB is also widely recognized. Foundation year is limited. One of the things with foundation is that sometimes a foundation program provided by one university is not accepted by another universities. And I talk it from experience where I had to decline for a lot of students who came with a foundation program from their local universities or something like that. So this is very tricky. For a local diploma, yeah, often not. Subject depth, as I said, A levels are very high specialized. IB is more broad. It has less depth, and it's like they study more subjects overall. And foundation is more like introductory. Foundation program is introductory level, and local diploma, it depends, of course, but from talking from CIS countries, it's not the case at all. So for A levels, you don't have to study an extra year. You don't spend your one more year, which is good. For IB, it's the same. Foundation year, yes, you spend one more year at a university, and usually the costs are very high. Usually foundations do not cost very cheap, and you also spend like living expenses abroad. So it can be costly for some families, and some families would not prefer that. For local diplomas, yes, you have to do an extra year, probably. And predicted grades. A levels, they provide predicted grades. IB provide predicted grades. Foundation and local diplomas do not provide predicted grades. And student in control of the outcome, which means student is in control of their grades. In A levels, it is high. IB, it's also medium. Foundation year and local diploma is lower sides. So if you don't have any questions, I'm gonna move forward because this was the easy part. Now we're talking about the predicted grades in A levels. As I said, in A levels, the students receive predicted grades by their teachers in the middle of their study year. So their final study year, they take a predicted grade and they apply with that predicted grade, which could be a little problematic. Why? Because university, well, university deadlines could change. It could be January, February. They need to send conditional offers by that time. But students don't have their final exams at the moment. They will take it later in the year. So they take predicted grades from their teacher, and the university makes an offer of a conditional offer based on that prediction. But did you know that only 1 in 5 students achieve their predicted grades in A levels? That is extremely low amount. It's like 20%. Or you could say like, I don't know, 2 students only out of 10 students. This is a very low percent. So it shows a problem that it goes deeper, that maybe teachers are not good to predict the grades of the students, or overall like the exam preparation level is not well enough, but it causes a very big problem for the students because they have a conditional offer. They've made a decision to go to a university, and they have to change it once they get their final exam, which is very later during the summer or even later. And they have to change the whole trajectory. They have to change the university. They have to change their plan B. And conditional offer is going to be withdrawn if they miss their predicted grade, which is, as an agent, you might have had similar kind of students. We don't like this kind of like very last minute stressful situations. So I'm pretty sure you're not also fond of that situation with predicted grades. So how are we solving this? We have a good solution. We have a learning intelligence platform. So we are a school of A levels and IGCSEs, but we're not just a traditional school. We're more than traditional school. We're very ed tech, modern, data driven, and we have a platform that is built specifically to solve the problem of predicted grades, because our platform actually calculates the predicted grade of the student based on the data received. So this platform is not built in one day. It's not built in one random information. It has been built over 10 years of distance learning and over the experience of 50,000 student records. So we know what we're talking about. We know that platform is very useful for the students. So how it works is that it tracks every quiz, every exam, every assignment, lesson, all the attendance of the student, and gives the data based on all that input data, they give the predicted grade. So there's not going to be a teacher bias, because teacher could be biased. They could have some favorite students, or they could, you like it or not, we're human. We're all biased, even if these teachers are saying to be not biased at all. It's not the same. Here it's technology driven and data backed, so it's not going to have any bias, and the predicted grade is going to be much more objective. Yeah. And also, one of the things is that we flag the risks early. So if the student is getting very bad grades, for example, for chemistry, they could see it real time. They're not going to receive it very last minute in January, before 2 weeks before the deadline. It's not going to be the case. They could see it in October. They could start working on it. They could improve there until B, if that's what the university they're applying for is asking for. And also another thing is that it shows progress. So not only to the student, but also to the parents, to the agents as well. So everyone involved in the student's journey could actually see what is going on. It's not secret, it's not last minute. Yeah, I want to show a little bit of a demo of our platform so you get an idea of how it looks like. Just a very short introduction. Zach, are you here?
Yeah, sure. So nice to see you.
Perfect. Could you then share your screen? Just give us a little introduction to the platform.
Yeah, with a great pleasure. Uh, yeah, I hope you're all seeing my screen. The task that I'm having today is pretty challenging because I have to show you the platform for quite a short time. And as Sarah mentioned before, we've been working on this platform for years, and we put a lot of efforts and passion. But I hope I will manage to be brief. So for the start, we created the account of William with the name Shakespeare, probably familiar to you. This young guy from England, he studied in our school, and this is his front page. Here you can see all the necessary information needed for the studies. When we were creating the user experience part of this platform, we wanted to be as familiar as possible for the kids. So we decided to make the front page and other pages using the idea of widgets that they have on their phones. So you can personalize your screen or your any other page according to your preferences. And what we've seen from the experience, our kids really like it because some of them keep as more widgets as possible on their screen, and some of them want their screen to be neat, so they are keeping the minimum. We just made two main widgets that you cannot change as important tasks because obviously we don't want anyone to miss something important, and the calendar. On the calendar, on the front page, you can see your schedule for today or tomorrow. You can choose any date you like and see what's planned for today. Well, for example, if it will be a Monday, so our William will have a chemistry lesson, geography, and a test in biology, and a few consultations. Quite a busy day, but not all those days are so busy. For example, today's day is free. Tomorrow he has just the day after tomorrow, just a football training. So we have a bigger version of the calendar where you can put also your personal events like football or parties or whatever. So coming back to the system of our learning, switching next to the courses page. Obviously, most probably you know that A level is about studying three subjects. We thought that probably this guy could choose geography, biology, and chemistry. And what's also important, we also have a separate courses for exam preparation. I'll speak about them a little bit later. They are really different from the courses themselves. Like this course on the chemistry and the course AS level exam performance chemistry are really different. And in a minute, you'll understand why. How do we teach? Our system, we call it a hybrid system because it consists of two types of activities. Is a pre-recorded lessons and online lessons with our tutors who are native speaker, English native speakers. And we also make a casting for our tutors. So a lot of them are actually examiners, which helps a lot because on the lessons they teach students not only the subject but also how to pass the exam. What are the hints for being more efficient on the exam? And I think you'd all will agree that in the end, the most important thing is to pass the exam and to have a nice grade. Our pre-recorded lessons, all of them, they're built on the same structure, and you'll see it in a minute, in a second. For example, any lesson will on any subject will consist of the same elements, which are interactive video, notebook, course book, glossary, flashcards, assignments, tests, self-reflection. So in the beginning, you have a short video, which is also subtitled in different languages. The voiceover is only English. They have interactive assignments during the video. Then, after the video, you have a notebook with all the necessary information that the student is supposed to know after the lesson. The next and probably the most important is course books. They are Cambridge certified course book with all the necessary pages, exercises, and other assignments. The next element of the lesson, which we decided to make like a separate element, is a glossary because on the A-level exam, huge attention is paid to the terms and definitions, and the student can lose a lot of points on such assignments. So we decided to make it a separate element of the lesson. Then we have flashcards, which most probably you all know the whole idea of switching the flashcards in order to remember some important information. After that, we have assignments where a student can read the assignments, and you have here the empty space to fill the assignments, and then a student can check himself or herself for the correct answer. In the end of every lesson is a test and a self-reflection where a student can tell us what exactly he liked or didn't like about the lesson. So this whole amount of material is supposed to be studied during 1 week. And also during this 1 week, a student will have 2 online lessons with native speaker English tutors, who, as I mentioned before, a lot of them are also examiners. So in the end, you have probably, I think, maybe 6 hours of every subject per week, which is pretty tough. But we all know that studying on the A level is not easy, but in the end, it pays really well because you have really higher chances to enter the university. Speaking about entering the university, another thing that I wanted to show you is our career guidance test. Here's a link in front of you. What's really the most important thing about our career guidance test is it's not built only on the answers during the tests about your career preferences, because it's built on the same platform where a student studies. It includes all the information and all the data that we know about the student. So the career guidance test itself, it's like a tip of the iceberg, which is based on the millions and millions of we call it education points. It's education point is like a single action that you do on the platform during studies. It can be a click and an answer on the question in the test. So because we exist for more than 10 years and we had more than 50,000 users of our platform, so we accumulated millions of those education points as data. And we built our educational algorithms with the help of AI, definitely, to predict more sharply the grades that, as Sarah spoke before, when we give our students the predicted grades, and also during the career orientation. What's the most important thing is here you have your talents and the career matches based on the orientation test and all the information that we have about the student. And if you agree with the choice with our recommendation, you can also like click here, and you can see the like a short version of where you could go, which university you could enter. You can enter here the budget or the study language. So it's very important for you as an agent to promote this, is because in the end you will have a student that would come to you with better prepared. So with our help, you will have less work and more efficient students. What I mean is they will know better what they want. And later, after that, we also assess the key professional qualities of the student based on the all the information that we're having, and we also show what's important to every person in their professional life. For example, the impact, the creativity, helping others, the income, flexibility, and other things. Here below is all that information like more detailed, but the most important thing is here on the in the top of the page. So we are really proud of our product, and because it's built not on subjective biases, because it's based on data, we are pretty sure that we are really sharp in predicting either it's about predicting the grades of the student during the studies, or in our career guidance recommendations. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask them or to type them in the chat. And meanwhile, I'm giving the word to Sarah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Zach. Yeah, Zach is our business development director at Atmo School. He was too humble to introduce himself earlier. So let me just continue with our programs. Yeah, Zach showed you our platform of how we work, how how the classes go on, and how we actually make sure that the students get into the right career choice, they choose the right subjects. We offer more than just A levels. As you can see here, there is an A level diploma, which is 2 years, full qualification. By the way, I think I forgot to mention, but we are Cambridge accredited, so they will have a full Cambridge accredited A-level diploma. Then we have IGCSEs, which is IGCSEs like 2 years prior to A-level, super globally recognized secondary qualification as well. But we also offer single subjects. So there's quite a lot of students who actually study A level at some like local international school, but they need extra support. They need maybe a subject that is not taught in their school. We also offer single subject offerings. And apart from that, which is very important, I think, we offer exam preparation modules. As Zach has mentioned, one of the most important things about A levels and acceptance to university is the exams. If you could be amazing at chemistry, you could know perfect physics, but if you don't know how the exam is structured and you're not prepared for that, you're probably not going to get a good grade. And that's the missing point for a lot of A-level students. And we have designed a curriculum with our teachers that is focused specifically to prepare the students for the exams, for the skills of the exams, how to take the exams, what to pay attention, etc. So that one is very useful as well. And apart from that, we also have a career orientation test. I wanted to mention why overall students choose to work with us. First of all, we are totally distance education. We're totally online. We're flexible. So we have students coming and joining from all over the world. They could join anywhere, at home, at car, whatever. Very comfortable for a lot of parents, for a lot of students. We have a lot of parents, just families that travel a lot, that live for 2 or 3 cities. Right now, we know the situation in the world, which is very unstable. There is quite a lot of countries going for online education, like quite a lot of schools changing to distance education. So this is something that a lot of families are right now looking for. Um, we are also very cost effective compared to traditional international schools. Like we are twice, sometimes even 3 or 4 times cheaper than other international schools that offer programs like A levels and IB. And a lot of parents, a lot of students right now, all switching to international education. So they're looking for a wide range of opportunity, like a wide range of options, but the options price wise are quite limited. Then we have a high quality British curriculum education, and we have 12 subjects available, which is quite a lot of subjects, again, compared to traditional international schools. For A levels, usually schools offer like 4 or 5 subjects. And students studying there, they don't have really a choice, even if they want to study, like, I don't know, art or like whatever history, they don't offer it. So that's a very big problem, because for later on, for they cannot go to a university unless they have that specific subject. We offer 12 subjects, and they are very comprehensive. They're the most famous subjects, and this is a good option. Talking about high quality British curriculum education, I would like to mention that our teachers are not random tutors that don't have any experience. Our teachers are actually UK based, experienced exam experts. They're all have been teaching A levels and IGCSEs for more than 10 to 20 years. So, for example, here are some of the examples. Like Lauren, she teaches A level psychology. She has 12 plus year experience. She's a graduate of Birmingham University in the UK, and she's also a specialist in exam technique and revision planning. We have Graham, A level mathematics, 20 plus years of teaching experience. He's the former head of mathematics at a UK awarding body, and he's an examiner himself. And we also have Chris, who has 32 plus experience. So it's not some random people. Our teachers are very experienced. They're examiners. They know how the exams work, not only teach the subject. So this is a high level education that, again, not all traditional international schools offer, because it's much harder for them to bring those kind of like experienced teachers into the country. So now you're wondering 100%, what are the prices? What do we offer to our students? So as you can see here, we have a full package, that is the to-go package for students. This is £7,200 per year. This includes 3 A-level subjects. This includes support. This includes the platform, all the content. By the way, all the content that has been developed is developed by our teachers. So the curriculum itself is very comprehensive and developed by our expert teachers. We have live mentor support, and we have university application support as well. So this is a full package, but we also offer a core program package that is much cheaper, much cost effective. Here, the difference is that it includes pretty much the same, like 3 A-level subject, full study program, interactive content, platform access, mentor support, but it doesn't include the live teachings with the teachers. So as you might have remembered from Zach's speech, that in like when students studying with us, we have live teachings with teachers, for example, like 1 or 2 times per week for every subject. So it's around 5 to 6 live lessons with teachers every week. But if, for example, the person is more independent, they can study themselves, they need the content, they need to prepare, then they could go for the core program, and that would be much more cost effective. So it depends what the parents and the student needs. And we also provide separate subjects. So again, for the students that, for example, already study at an international school, they need to kind of like have extra subject that the school doesn't provide. We have that kind of a, offering as well. But overall, we are very like just we have different kind of students coming in, different kind of portfolios, different kind of cases. So we're flexible with preparing their curricula, like not curriculum, but like their plans for the week. They could choose to study in the morning or in the evening. It depends from the student, and that is a big advantage as well. So the main idea, what we're trying to, convey to you here is that being a mentor, being a counselor, being an agent is not always easy in this, especially in this kind of like a climax around the world. We would like to make your job easier. We know that you get different kind of students, sometimes really high achievers that want to go to top universities, and they do have some kind of like limitations, as we said, such as a local diploma. So here we want to handle the academics, so you don't have to worry about that. So you focus on the applications of the students. We take care of the Cambridge exam preparation. We give a strong academic foundation. We prepare them for the university life, and like they get the knowledge and the base to actually succeed at the university, not just go and fail and then come back and then have a talk with you to send you to another university. We give real predicted grades that are realistic, that will get the student closer to their dream university. And apart from that, of course, having an online education with UK teachers, with like an A-level program, they will master their English language, they will grow their academic growth, and they will be much more ready for the university. So you can focus on the university selection and applications and visa process, and you can just support the students and the families along the way. Yeah, and from our experience, we had our students who want accepted to top universities in the UK, in the US, Ivy League universities such as Harvard, Cornell, UPenn, and UCL, like Queen Mary in the UK. We also had students that are accepted to Australia, to European universities. So we're confident to say that your students can do the same. So moving on, I would like to just give a little, an idea of like what kind of students we work with. By the way, a lot of our students are studying with local like they get dual diploma. They study locally at their own university school in their countries, and they study in the evenings with us. But not everybody. We have also students that study full time with us, that are like very, I don't know, student athletes, or students that travel a lot. So for example, here we have Jonathan, who studies history, economics, and math. He got offers from Russell Group universities. We have Makar, who just recently, he's studying with us chemistry, physics, and mathematics. He got an Olympiad. He won a third place in the Olympiad just recently. We have Sophia, who's studying history, math, and economics. She has won a historical project at Erasmus Plus. We have Paulina, who studies also, she's 16 years old, and she's studying in Germany at a local school and studying A-levels with us simultaneously. And we have Robert, who is studying with us chemistry, economics, math, and biology. And he has dived into our career orientation program and has found his calling. And I think he's actually here with us. Robert, are you here?
Yes, hello, I'm here.
Perfect, great. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, how old you are, what are your, what your hobbies, where do you want to study in the future, and how overall this program, the education goes? What do you like about it? And yeah, just your opinions.
Yeah, sure. So once again, hello, I'm Robert. I'm 17 years old, and currently I'm studying A-levels. The reason behind that is that I wanted to study in Germany here at the top of the university here, more specialized in economics. I would like to do some of management, or maybe work as an analytic. A-levels, I've chosen to study A-levels because they would also speed up my application to the university. So once when I've I'm still in school, by the way. So once I've finished the school, I wouldn't need to study like 1 year straight to get to the university here. So A-level would cut my half into application by 6 months, so it would be way faster. And I wouldn't need also to do with the entry exams when I would apply to university. So I just see the benefits of it that are just great.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, Robert. Am I understanding you correctly? You wanted to study in Germany, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Perfect. And you had to, if not A levels, you had to take some extra entrance exams to get accepted to Germany.
Well, firstly, I would need to go into a specialized school. I understand this as a college, so I would need to study 1 year there and study everything in German, and kind of it would be a bit of hard. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. All right. Thank you so much, Robert. It was a pleasure to hear from you.
thank you.
So as you can see, yes, there are so many different cases with students, and it's much simpler to have an A-level degree diploma and go directly to the university, except like instead of doing like a lot of entrance exam and local like college or like local equivalencies and everything. So yeah. Um, so next slide. I would like to talk about now. Oh, before we actually go on, and before I forget, actually, it's a very good point that Robert has mentioned is about the time. Is that he saves time. In his case, it's like half a year he will save time after graduation of high school with A levels. But in the case of like if the student is studying, for example, in Kazakhstan, right? They could start doing their A levels from year 10 and like AS levels, and year 11 A levels. And after they graduate the high school diploma, like here in Kazakhstan, they're already going to have an A level as well. So they're not going to spend an extra year, like gap year or like studying only A levels. They could do it directly, which is very useful. And for the same goes for like students, for example, from Turkey who are doing, 12 years, they will do 11-year grade AS levels, 12-year A level, and go directly to a university. So in every case, it's very time efficient. And I know that parents usually are rushing, and students are also rushing to finish all the university and everything. I don't know why, but they're rushing. So this could be a good offering for them that they are not going to spend time. They're not going to waste a year doing gap year or like doing, foundation or whatever. So I want to talk about the advantages of you for you as an agent. What will you get with working with us? What will you get with like informing and suggesting our school to your students and parents? First of all, as we mentioned earlier, it's cost effective for families. I know that you have a lot of different kind of families that you work with, and not like some of them are more price sensitive than the others. So this is an offering that is much cheaper than traditional international schools. It is much cheaper than doing a whole year foundation somewhere in the UK. It's a high quality British education at a very reasonable price. Another thing is that it's much easier to work with and much easier to sell because you will not need to apply for a visa, no relocation, no like logistics for the parents and agents, because I know that you handle most of the logistics on you. So this will be going to be much simpler because it's online. They're enrolled and they start their studies right away. And right now, with all the visas in the US and UK and everywhere, this could be a good offering. I know that it's very stressful right now with the visas. And also that we have much more, like we have a very wide offering. A level, AS level, single subject, IGCSE, dual diploma. You choose, students choose, you have a good offering. And another thing is that low competition. Like online A levels are still a white space in a lot of the markets that have joined here. And you could be one of the first agents to offer it, own the niche. I believe that it's rising in popularity, online education rising in popularity a lot, specifically since COVID. So it's going to keep rising. And I feel like this could be a good way to kind of like take the lead and offer it in your market to your students and parents. And the last thing is, again, we've got your students covered. So we're gonna build a strong academic profile they will not have to worry about anything else. Like you will not have to worry about the academic part, and you will be responsible for the admissions, for the applications. You will not worry about failed foundations or like rejected applications. Again, because once you have A levels, you go to a university, you are at the university. You don't have a foundation. You're already enrolled, and the student's just gonna go and graduate. And the better the student success, it's better for you as well. And especially for those students that want to go to top universities around the world, being equipped with an international diploma, that is a very good way. You will protect your reputation. We will protect their future. So I think that's a good collaboration overall. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. I've actually made really I've tried to cover a lot of things in a short time, but I just want to ask you if you have any questions. We could do a Q&A question. Maybe some of you guys have written in the chat, but here are my contact details, and here are the contact details of head of school. You can take a picture of it right now, or I'm going to send you anyways all the presentation. So if you'll have any questions or anything else that you want to talk to us about, partner with us. We could definitely, we're definitely going to be very happy to work with you, partner with you, grow with you, and make sure that your students actually achieve the best results. So yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Zach.
Hello.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I just would like to clarify, do you have any age restrictions? What's the lowest age that you accept to the course and the oldest, as well as do you have any entry exams or maybe entry requirements like English level requirement?
So first of all, for the English requirement, yes, we do have English requirement. We require B2 level, but we have our own test for English. So we send it to the students that register with us. We send the test, and if they pass the test, they pass the requirement. If they don't pass the test, we usually offer them. We have like pre-A level program as well during the summer, where students can prepare for 8 weeks for the A-level program itself. So we offer that to them before they go to A-level program, starting in September. And as for the age restrictions, for the IGCSE program, the age restriction is 13 years old. So they need to be starting from 13 years old. They could go to IGCSE. As for the A-levels, Volodymyr, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Do we have age restrictions for the A-level itself?
Yes, so basically we tend to accept students minimum at the age of 15 or 15 plus. So when they graduate from A level, they are already 17, and then they can progress to universities. So depending, again, it depends a lot on the university choices. But as we see now, there are 90% of universities, they accept 17 years old directly or 17 and a half without problems. There are maybe from 5 to 10% of universities that are still quite strict in terms of the age when how old the students should be when they start their studies. So we help on this stage we help to understand which universities, which subjects, and then we kind of make this decision whether the students can start earlier or not. But as for now, all our students, they start, as I said, when they are 15 and a half. Most of the students, as Sarah mentioned, they combine the local school, and it works great in different CIS countries when they can start at the grade 10, and then they finish the grade 11, they get a dual diploma, and then they go to university straight after the school without foundation year. So, and we already have successful cases, and it works fine. So the only thing that they need to provide when they are under 18 is they provide usually some additional paperworks from parents, and some countries they require guardians. But other than that, they're absolutely fine. And the universities, they first of all make decisions based on the academics first, and then other requirements like age and other parts. There are cases
Yeah.
already, and they are more popular and becoming more and more popular when universities already accept students when they even less than 16. I just discussed this with some of my colleagues yesterday. The student entered the university, actually one of the top university like UCL, and at the age of 15. Can you imagine that? So
Wow.
there are cases like this already. So and if you, for example, go to the Imperial University website and they have the age, like the Requirement Act, something like this. So they say that we cannot accept students based on their like age first, but they need to accept based on their academics because it's like additional, prejudice or something like this. So, but again, there are some specific universities like maybe art related or music or drama or something like this that they would require to be 18 when the students start or by the end of the of the year, something like this. Yeah.
I just want to add that we have an entry test not only about the level of English, but also about other subjects. Because, well, other subjects like math or physics or chemistry, kids don't start to study from level zero. They have to have a certain background in other subjects. And we also check this level. And if they miss something, we, of course, provide some advices and resources how they can catch up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I actually have received a few more questions here in the chat. I'm just gonna read it like aloud so everybody is understanding as well. So the question is like, do we have accreditation for managing exams? So how exams work in A levels case, they are taken at an official exam centers. And in our case, what we do is we help with the registration for the students. We have mentors like that help with all the registration process, and the student goes in person and takes the exams in these exam centers. So it's not an online exam. Whatever the student lives, they register there. We help them register and then go and take the exam there. And also there was a question about the Cambridge or Pearson. We are right now Cambridge accredited, but we are getting a Pearson accreditation as well, which hopefully we will get it by September. So both that and that as well.
And then when we get the Pearson accreditation, there will be an possibility to pass online exams as well. And there are like more entrants for the exams, like 3 times per year the students can pass the exam. So it will be much easier and more convenient for students, for parents, for agents, for us. Because that's why we are now working towards receiving Pearson and Excel accreditation, and we will be offering both accreditations from September 2026, so from this year, academic year.
Yeah. Perfect. Also, Juliet has asked here if we have like a 1 year fast track option, which is we do have that option for students that are capable because 1 year fast track is a very intense program. We had a case where we have given a student 1 year fast track option. So yes, that's definitely a possibility for students who are disciplined, who are, who can manage that kind of a workload. They don't have to do all it in 2 years. So Zarina is asking what kind of help, some of online as well, but online it's again meant to be an exam center. So, Vladimir, do you want to answer this?
Yeah, again, so for example, we have students in different locations, and then we will help to find the center which would be the closest to the student, and we'll help to facilitate the whole process. So, for example, we have Yulia with us, our mentor, and she was doing this year, registering students for AS exams and for A-level exams, and this is like quite a lot of quite a lot of work to do that, communicating with the exam centers, setting up the dates, etc., etc. So we as a school provide all this help for all of our students, and so for example, in
Yes,
school not prepared, not preferred independent candidates for exam. Yes, but we are as we are Cambridge accredited school. We work with other Cambridge accredited exam centers as well, and they there are on the website, on the Cambridge International website, there are like a list of schools which accept private candidates in all the countries, including Azerbaijan. We didn't have any cases there yet, but I don't think it would be a problem. We can always contact our manager in Cambridge, where we work with them, so they can help us facilitate this process if we have any problems. Because they can pass the exams either in the Cambridge accredited international schools or British councils. So we didn't have any problems with that before. Students of Atmo school will be counted as independent candidates. Same with different exam fee. Yeah, so basically, because we are online schools and this works for all the online schools, the students are registered as private candidates and they pay the candidate fees dependent on the subjects. So in each country, there are different exam centers, and they charge. There are like set fees for the exams, depending on the subjects, but also some centers they charge their own administration fees as well. Yulia, maybe you can add on this as well.
Yes, I can add something here. So my name is Yulia. I am a mentor in A level and IGCSE program. So what I can add here, when you are sitting the exams in chemistry or physics or biology, sometimes you need to pass the exam where you need laboratory. Then this exam will cost more. So the school needs to have a lab, special lab for sitting such an exam. And not all centers have laboratories. That's why those schools which have laboratories for such exams, they set a higher price for such an exam. That is what I wanted to add here.
Thank you, Yulia. Yes, for the number of exams, we are targeting for the same and for the number of subjects. Yes, I can see here some of my colleagues already replied to that. So we have chosen the most popular subjects. Of course, there are like 50 plus different subjects. But we work with the most popular subjects and combination of subjects for the students, and we always add more and more subjects every year as well, depending on the demand.
We have a list for Pearson subjects that we're going to be working with.
So for Pearson, we will send this information accordingly, like probably within 1 month. So we don't have it finalized yet because we are in the process. For the Cambridge International, we have all the lists, and it is written here. So,
do you offer any languages? At the moment, we don't offer any like
we have
language.
English language as a subject. We have it's as a separate exam, but not other languages yet. For IGCSE, we offer maths and English and combined science as compulsory subjects, and then the students will choose additionally two subjects depending on what they want to study as well. So there will be the choice among the subjects that listed here in the chat. So for A levels, the students study 3 subjects, and for IGCSEs, they study typically they study 5 subjects. Very nice questions, very professional. We like that. Thanks a lot. Maybe
I'm very sorry.
Yes.
Could you please explain the difference between the Pearson and the Cambridge A levels?
So basically, to be honest, it's in terms of the if we need to think about like what we consider in terms of like acceptance to universities. There are no differences. So they're both that accepted the same with Cambridge and Pearson. There are some differences with the content and the exams. As I said, for example, with Pearson, you can pass the exams online, and there are all 3 entrants per year. Whether with Cambridge Internationals, there are only 2 entrants, and you need to pass them offline. Usually now they work to implement the online exams as well, but I think it will take more time, and Pearson and Excel already have this. And in terms of the like the content itself and the preparation, it is considered that Pearson and Excel is more practical in many ways. So, for example, if you take any subjects, they would explain more. Like there is a topic, and then in Pearson and Excel there would be more explanation of how you can use it in a real time. Whether in Cambridge International, it's more like based on theory than practice. So. Basically, in terms of the us as professionals, like consulting the students and getting them to universities, there are no differences. And schools internationally, they usually work with Cambridge International Accreditation because it's especially created for international programs and international schools. And Pearson Excel is considered more for the local, for example, UK schools. But other than that, there are no differences. Maybe some of my colleagues can add something as well. Like,
Well, they say that Pearson is probably slightly easier, but again, that's what Vlad mentioned because it's more practical. So maybe that's why it's considered easier. At the same time, A levels they put more efforts in theory, which maybe makes it more complicated. But again, I would say that A level, Cambridge A level are more well prestigious. You can enter probably a bit better universities having Cambridge A levels comparing to Pearson and Excel.
yes, again, yeah, we work mostly with the students who go to study in English and English-speaking programs. Even if it's Europe or Germany, that would be English-speaking programs, not in German, because our education is in English and A levels is in English as well. So I know that there might be some specifics if you want to study in German language, and that's like a bit different conversation for that. But as for now, we work mostly with English speaking programs, including Germany or other European countries. And there were no problems with accepting this because at the end of the day, the students they receive the Cambridge International Diploma, and there is no information that the students studied online or in any other ways. So the diploma the students receive is the same diploma as they would receive from the school for 50 or 60,000 pounds. Because again, at the end of the day, all the students they go and pass the exams in the accredited exam centers and they got the grades. So that's the most important part. And sometimes it's confusing that for many people that because it's online and then it is not accepted by the universities in the same way as it's from offline. But it's the same way because all the students, they go and pass the exams and the acceptance will be based on their grades, not about how they studied or something like this.
Yeah, and it's what's important to mention. This is an offline exam, so
Yeah.
you can study offline, online. It doesn't matter. In the end, you're coming to pass an offline exam, so that's why it's mostly accepted. And well, they don't care. They didn't put any attention. How did you study? It's more they're more interested in how did you pass the exam. And if it's an offline exam, so they don't have any problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah, Zarina, I think we can discuss this on a different call because you've got many questions, which is great. And yeah, so not to keep everyone waiting. But again, as I said, we work according to the Cambridge International Accreditation as for now, and we are going to have Pearson and Excel. And this is worldwide recognized accreditations with all the opportunities and possibilities. So the main part of why we are different from other schools is because we have our hybrid education solutions where we have accredited UK teachers and we have our own educational platform with all the data analytics and everything that we just mentioned. And I think this is really special because the students can also combine this with the local schools and they can go to universities. And it's not only about the diploma itself, it's also about the academic preparation because as we know, the earlier the students will start studying in English, not only English language, improving English language, they will improve academic English and they will also improve their knowledge and understanding of the subjects. And then they will be much more effective and successful during the first year of studies. Because again, you as an agent, you know the statistics. For example, there is a statistics of dropout rate during the first year, and then even the student can go to university, but then if the student is not prepared well academically, the dropout rate is quite high. So we make sure that if the student starts studying in English academically, the earlier the better, they would be much more prepared to successfully pass the university studies as well. So we are doing this everything in Atmo, and we are inviting you to test, to try with us. You can start with one subject. You can start with our core program, which is quite affordable as well, and our full main program, which is combining everything that we just mentioned with Sarah. Any other questions, maybe? Thank you very much. That's great.
If we don't have any questions, I'm gonna send you further a follow-up with our presentation and our marketing materials and the form that you can fill out. So to join our agent, they like our partners. And we're really very grateful for you guys for joining and for being here until the very end. And yeah, we're hopefully looking forward to working with you, to receiving students from you. And if you have any questions, please hit us up. We're going to be very happy to answer anything you have. And for Zarina, I think we could definitely organize a call, maybe to answer all the questions that you have, and get all the doubts in your head, or like over, let's say.
Yeah, just to clarify things. Yeah. No, and of course, we work as a school. We work with agencies. We have, we have the bonus structure, the commission structure. So again, we will send you all this information, and it's quite easy to work with us. It's. We don't need visas and quite a lot of other paperwork that some other schools require. So agents really love working with us because everything is quite straightforward, and because of our prices, maybe the commissions can seem to be lower, but again, it's easier to enroll more students than, for example, you can enroll for 60 or 70,000 pound school. But it just for you to offer and to expand your offering as an agent, and we would be great to work with you, and we would be great to develop our school in your market. So we can do some joint activities, and Sarah will be in touch with you to discuss any individual approaches, marketing campaigns, or other possible cooperation together with you. Thank you very much, and yes, have a lovely day.
Yep, thanks. It was very nice to talk to you. Thank you.